Hey everybody. So I was doing some meditating and I draw some cards. For those that don't know, I do tarot and part of my meditation. And I write it down. It's my little notebook that I jot all my, messages down in. But today, I just finished doing my meditation for January, and these are the cards that came out, and I was just getting like so many different things that I don't know. I thought that making the video would be a little bit easier to do than try to write them all down, and my hands started cramping up. So yeah. But immediately when I looked at this card here, this is the it's called the Five of Swords, by the way. What came to the message that I got was about the shutdown, and I wasn't focusing on anything in particular when I started meditating. I just basically went on an open channel and I just receive whatever comes through. So these are the first. I'll just start with the first card just to give you a general overview. So this is the star card, and here this star card usually means hopes and dreams and ideals, and it's the balance of spirit and physical world. And so that's basically what's that about. You think of like fairy godmother and wishing, and it's usually a pretty good. It's a pretty good card to get. It's a really positive card. This card right here, the Five of Swords, this is basically, it talks about like, picking and choosing your battles. It's basically about, knowing when to leave a fight and, basically ask yourself, is whatever you're fighting for, is it worth it? This card right here, this is basically victory over triumph. In this card, well, let me tell you what it is before I move on to the next one. This is the Six of Wands, and this card here is the Eight of Wands. So, yeah, and this card is basically, it's about movement, and it's usually they say it has to deal with like technology, electronic technology, like internet, satellites, that type of stuff. But as you can see, it's like these staffs. It's like they could be falling towards the earth, or they could be launching up towards the sky. So depending on how you look at it, it's basically about communication and travel, or progress, movement, that type of idea. So the overall, and then this card right here, this is the oracle card that I drew, and it's basically impartiality, but I'll get more into that later as I deal with the reading. So yeah, so with this one, as you can, yeah, so right now, this is giving me the shutdown that a lot of people are going through. Basically, this is a time for us to sort of, while we're going through all this, like in the United States, like with the government and all that, and basically it's like a stalemate almost, and people don't seem to be working together. This card right here, this coincides with the card of Aquarius, and it's basically talking about doing things for the greater good. And because of this here, 2019 is the election year, I believe. So it'll, we're going to start looking at our leaders more. We're going to be really holding people accountable, and we're going to be looking for leaders that basically are optimistic, are inspiring, are people that we have confidence in, that they can go and do the job. People that are trying to work on behalf of the people, that, there's a saying, with great power comes great responsibility. So, yeah, we're really going to start looking at, the people that are in power, the people that we do give influence to, or that do have influence over us, and we're going to start holding them accountable. 2019 is going to be the year of accountability. So, yeah, things are going to get exposed, and sometimes that truth is going to be a little hard to swallow, because this card right here, it's talking about it's not a win-win situation. It's like, do you want to cut your nose and spite your face type of deal. So yeah, and also too, the internet and social media, all types of wireless communications, technology is going to play a big part in, this upcoming election as well, and how we deal with, where do we want to go with what kind of country we live in, what kind of, town, we're really like getting back to this ideal spot of really thinking about what are our values, what do we value, how do we define ourselves, what's our greater good, those types of situations. So now with this card here, impartiality. So I'll tell you the story about the card. So what the card says is basically this is a goddess or some sort of queen of a kingdom, and one day she sees two people and they're arguing about what to paint a fence that they share. So she's carrying these two buckets. You can see one's blue paint, one's red paint, and she tells each, the two people that are arguing about what to paint the fence. She's like, okay, you paint the color of the other one, and vice versa. So she gives each person the other person's paint that they want to use, and tells them to paint the fence, their side of the fence, that color. And what this basically is about is that, you have to really look at, for greater understanding and for coming together, you have to think about the other person, instead of like always thinking about your needs and what you want and what you think is right. Maybe you're not always right. Maybe that other person that's different than you, there's something you can learn from them. And this coincides with this card here that I was talking about before, the star card, because it's the whole Aquarian vibe of humanitarianism, of collectivism, of doing things for the greater good versus yourself. So yeah, and this is also connects with the crown chakra as well. And the crown chakra is basically getting in touch with your higher self, your higher nature, your spirit versus your ego and your mind. So yes, this is what this is going about. So and when I looked at this card here, it's like a lot of things, like when when you think of like the Me Too movement and all these people that are being held accountable for abuse or mistreatment of other people, and we look at what kind of leaders that we have and, who's representing us as far as like in the government or the celebrities or anything like that, like we're really going to be, like I was saying before, we're really going to be looking at them and saying, okay, is this the type of people that we want, or is this the type of person that we want to support? We're really going to be questioning that. And I couldn't help but notice that there was a ad for Gillette razors that was coming up. And I don't know, like I was on Twitter the other day, and there was this, like, I don't know, some people were like having a reaction to it because they felt like, oh, masculinity is under attack or whatever. And, and I went to go see the ad, and I didn't think that. It's basically was just saying that, oh, like, let's do better, as far as like challenging the old ways of doing things, and, how we define how men should act or how men should conduct themselves, or what's acceptable behavior, as far as gender norms and all that, but some people, like, there was a little bit of a reaction, because it's like, oh, this is an attack on masculinity and it's an attack on men, yada, yada. But again, it's, again, there's a lot that, that's just an example of some of the things that we're going to start questioning, and some of the values that we're going to start looking at as a society and as individuals. And again, it's like, January 2019 kicked off on, there's two eclipses. There's an eclipse. It's eclipse season. And if you don't know, an eclipse is basically, it's a significant event that it's a very powerful one. And what it does is that for the next 6 months, it's sort of, again, it's in the name, eclipse. It takes something out or removes something so that something else can come in. And usually it's something dramatic or unexpected. So this eclipse that's coming up, this lunar eclipse on the 22nd, the full moon, it's going to be, this is like a really powerful month and year that it's gearing up to be. So we're really going to be looking at, what can we do as individuals to basically live that, be in alignment with our higher selves, and what our dreams, what do we want, what do we wish for, our hopes, and how can we manifest those things or create the reality that we want. What are we putting our energy towards? Are we fighting about petty things, or do we really need that big house, that big car, or that job that, we get a lot of money, but we're not happy with, or that relationship that, they have a lot of money, they're rich, they look good, but I'm not really in love with them. You know what I mean? Like, what are we really spending our energy for, our day-to-day activities? And, we're really going to we should start asking ourselves, if this is the perfect opportunity to start asking yourself those questions and seeing, if you are in alignment with your, your higher self and your higher calling, or if you're not, or whatever it is that you're doing, your daily activities, if they're not, then maybe you need to, rethink that or do something different. Because, again, with the eclipse season, the eclipses are powerful. They are usually they're dramatic and they're unexpected things. So, you don't have to do any of this that I'm saying, but don't be surprised if circumstances come up and you're forced to start taking a look and reevaluating yourself, or, just sort of taking in what I'm saying right now. So, because again, we're going to be holding ourselves, we're going to have to be held accountable. We're going to have to, with great leadership, with great power, I think I said that wrong. With great power comes great responsibility. So if we want that recognition, if we, we're going to get that spotlight. This card here, the Six of Wands, it relates to Jupiter and Leo. And basically that's like the spotlight is on you. This is going to be a year where you are going to be looking at, you're going to have to be held accountable. You're going to have to look at yourself and really be honest with yourself if you want, to get to that next level or create this life that you want, which is, in the Star card. So, and again, you have, let's say, okay, I don't know, someone just wrote this, I don't understand who that's for. So this here, so as I was saying, so again, we're being held accountable. We're being held accountable to ourselves. And if we do have power, are we using it correctly? Are we holding other people accountable? It's all about the spotlight's going to be on us. And what we choose to do, how we choose to use our time and energy. Are we, doing things are we fighting the righteous fight, or are we just, going after things to, just because of our egos or whatever? So, and again, if you reach out to people, that's what this card is saying. This is, this is something that, this is what you need to look at as far as, oh man, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But so this card on an individual letter, note, it is more on the lines of looking at what you say and how your thoughts, that energy that you put out, be mindful of that. Like if you are battling yourself, how do you talk to yourself? Are you always doubting yourself? Are you always critical, you know what I mean? Like that self-talk and stuff. So yeah, it's just be mindful what you talk, because it's the whole idea of what you put out into the universe. It's like what you speak, you create, and what you speak to other people, it's all energy. So just be mindful of that. And yeah, last thing I wanted to highlight is this. This is the Bible verse that I was drawn on today. So it's James 1:17, and I put it in my own words. So this is what I got. I don't know if you can see it, but there we go. Every desirable and beneficial gift comes from God. These gifts are rivers of light cascading down from the light of the Creator. So yeah, I mean, self-explanatory. And what I was saying before about this card here, this card relates to that, because again, this is your crown chakra. Your crown chakra, as you can see here, that little diamond there, that's for your third eye. That's your connection from the physical body to the Creator, to the higher power, to God, whatever you want to call it. So again, that's sort of this verse that I was drawn to, sort of connects with what the card was showing me here. And also, it's the verse that I'm looking at is James 1:17. And if you look at the star card, that is the 17th card of the major arcana of the tarot. So it's sort of basically these two cards here are sort of basically backing up what the verse was saying. And again, yes, it's about, being, getting in touch with your higher self, with your Creator, having faith that even though things may look bad, even though you may feel like you're fighting a losing battle, that things will, have faith that things will work out for you, that you can, triumph over victory, and you can, create that what you want. You can speak it into existence, being mindful of, again, like I was saying before, self-doubt. You can create what you have. You may be going through a test of faith, or you may be going through some things that may make you think that, okay, where's God, or make you doubt, make you, whatever it is. But you have to really hold on to your faith. And that's what the general idea of this reading is about. Good always prevails no matter what happens. All right, so I think I'm going to end it there. And thank you guys and gals for letting me do this reading and letting me share this with you. I'm going to go out, and remember, I wish you all the best, and have a good night, and take care. Bye-bye.